I grew up in Luling, one of the last oil towns in Texas. The barbecue joint there was legendary. We'd eat lunch there a few times a week and always after football games. We're also just a few miles from Lockhart. By proclamation of the Texas legislature, Lockhart is the barbecue capital of Texas, which I guess makes it the barbecue capital of the world. My grandfather used to take us to his oil field land to cut down mesquite trees for barbecue. Then every weekend we'd be down at the river with him smoking something from the Texas Holy Trinity of brisket, ribs, and sausage. I moved to Europe for an Austrian girl that I met in Oaxaca, Mexico, of all places. Southern Canton is home now, but I was determined to bring a bit of Texas with me. I never could get the locals into country music, but they love barbecue, so I threw so many barbecues that pretty soon I started getting tired of the long hours that went into it. I know better than anyone how hard it can be to get good results from traditional smokers. The night before our wedding, a friend from Alabama and I had a little too much fun, and I ended up ruining the brisket we were cooking overnight for our guests. I really wish I had this smoker back then. Bullet smokers are hard to keep under control because of how much extra air they suck up. Just look at those unsealable doors on the side. Are those really necessary? Traditional offset smokers are hard to control because you set the temperature mainly by the amount of wood you put on the fire. That's about the hardest way imaginable to do it. Who wants to be out in the dark at 2 a.m. preheating logs before you put them on the fire? I don't. I'm a hungry guy that likes to get a full night's sleep. But I'm also an engineer at heart. I've never seen a problem I didn't want to fix. So I spent a couple of years building my perfect barbecue smoker, cutting through misconceptions and superstitions, and mixing tradition and science. I didn't just want it to be easy to use, I want it to be hard to get wrong. When it's time to eat, no one cares how authentic your pit is if the food isn't ready or if it's ruined. First off, I wanted it to be easy to get going. Why should you need a chimney starter when you can just build it into the fire basket? On ours, you just fire it up with a fire starter brick and wait 10 minutes. No pouring out pounds of red hot coals early in the morning. When it comes to controlling the temperature, I've found it's much easier to control the amount of oxygen going in than it is to directly control the size of the fire. If you start with the right ratio between intake, exhaust, and fire size, the smoker basically controls the temp itself. I spent a lot of time getting that one right. Here in Austria, the deep freeze of winter makes it really hard to barbecue in the winter. So I added a heat shield that insulates, blocks wind, and also preheats air headed into the smoker. Everyone's going to be copying this pretty soon. Now it works the same in January as it does in July. Another unusual thing about ours is that it cooks cowboy style, where the food is right over the fire. If that sounds crazy to you, keep in mind that some of the most famous barbecue places in Texas, like Salt Lick and Snows, cook cowboy style. Horizontal offset smokers and smokers that have water pans above the fire throw away an entire flavor component. The smoke created when dripping juices burn off on the fire for no great benefit I can see. With the fire well under control, food right above the fire won't burn because the radiant heat is next to nothing thanks to the ash coating on the charcoal acting as a shield. Water pans are also widely misunderstood. Water pans don't keep food from drying out. You want your food to lose water. That's what concentrates the flavors and allows rendered fat and melted collagen to replace the water. One thing that's really important here in Europe is that horizontal smokers are space hogs. They are way bigger than they need to be for the amount of food that they hold. It turns out the best use of space is just hang the food in the smoker. A lot of people think their food will fall off the hooks, but I've never seen it happen. Gravity is weaker than you think, and there's always enough collagen left to hold the meat together. With proper fish hooks, even fish can be smoked by hanging. Our smoker will hold a brisket, 2 pulled pork shoulders, or 10 St. Louis cut rib racks. That'll feed up to 14 of your friends. But it's small enough to buckle into a car seat and take to the park. You can carry it with one hand. Today there's a lot of smokers to choose from. Kamados are great and all, but you sure don't get a lot of space for the sky-high price you pay. Imported offset smokers can be had for cheap, but don't count on using it more than a few times before you're ready to toss it out. And a good one is the same size and price as a used car. Some people might say, well, just use a pellet smoker. Pellet smokers are well known to undersmoke because they create too fine smoke particles. Our company runs extremely lean, so more of the money you pay goes into the actual product you get than with anyone else. You won't believe how much 304 stainless steel we use, from the handles to the hooks to the optional smoking grill. And our stainless steel fire basket should last a lifetime. Our drums are made in Germany, our metal components are made in Austria. We hand assemble them here in Austria so they arrive ready to cook. and we back them up with a 30-day money-back guarantee, along with the 3-year limited warranty. We build generations of barbecue experience into the Airtight smoker, so you don't need to spend a lifetime learning to be a pit master. Hang out with your family and friends while your Airtight smoker does the cooking for you. Just fire it and forget it, it'll be excellent every time. Airtight smokers, conceived in Texas, born in Austria.